Well, yeah, I think there's less news. There is less from Intellivision and Tommy lately. I think that's a good thing. A lot of people said like, "Hey, let's just put your head down, get a console out." I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah, their heads down, and I think we know that their heads down. This is so to Nick's point. This is crunch time. Like this is, I mean, I
crunch time. What crunching are they doing apart from crunching on crisps? I don't know. That's all they're doing.
I mean, I will say, like John, him and I talk to the same people. We're getting it this year.
Oh yeah,
mean, it is.
Of course.
The words used to me were "come hell or high water." So they are folk, and that's why you guys, Star Paddler. That's why you're not hearing a lot about it from anybody right now, is because they're focused. They've got to. They know what they need to do.
Oh yeah.
They know what the challenges are.
Oh yeah.
Now it's time to get it done. If anything delays this year, I'll be very blunt. I think it's game over.
Hello and welcome to another video, and the catastrophe continues. These guys, I mean, they're just sort of making excuses, absolutely making excuses for the whatever's going on with this. Hello and welcome to another video. I thought I'd just give a bit of a taster there before we get to the meat of what I'm talking about here today. It's a taster of what comes just before, where they just. They all seem so fixated that it's coming out this year. When if it's not coming out, if something's not coming out after 3 years, it's not coming out. Okay, I mean it was planned for October 2020, but it was announced in 2018. If you can't get it out, 3.5 years on, it's not coming. There's no news from Intellivision, nothing. It's all quiet on the Amico front. We've had no more deep dives, no more Twitter as far as I know. I've not gone in. I'll just go to a quick look at their Twitter as I talk. Intellivision. When was the last time we had something? Oh, yeah, January the 14th. The Ars Technica nonsense. So we've had nothing since. It's now in the middle of Chinese New Year has just happened, but a lot of companies take a week or so off, so nothing's happening at the moment. So nothing. You're not going to get your console by the end of Q1 2022. And yeah, I'm going to go through there's 26 games which have been apparently announced. Apparently they're all finished, according to Intellivision's new spokesman, RetroBro. Yeah. Before I just get to that, I've just been to the cinema today, and it's my first. I mean, it's my first time. Where are we now? We're in February 2022. Good God! It's the first time I've been back to the Odeon Trafford Centre, which is classed as Manchester. I suppose Greater Manchester, but it's not in Manchester. If you go to Manchester expecting the Odeon for the Trafford Centre, you'll be very disappointed. Then again, if you go to Manchester Town Centre, there used to be an Odeon there. In fact, I think there's the Odeon that was there became the View at the Printworks, and then there's another one which I think Odeon took over. But if I'm going to go into the town centre, I will go to the View because it's about third biggest IMAX all around, in Europe anyway, and the two that beat it. Well, the BFI in London, and there's one that's slightly bigger elsewhere. I mean, both of those two are slightly bigger. I forget exactly where it is, somewhere in Europe, but they're only like slightly bigger than the IMAX. So it's not like you'd have to, go to the IMAX in Manchester and think, oh, this is tiny. I've got to go to the one in Europe. No, it's perfectly fine. It's absolutely bloody huge. In fact, I mean, I went to the Odeon Trafford Centre, and that IMAX is just a converted screen that was there before. So really, the only thing extra you're getting is comfy seats and the sound on top of that. But it is what it is. It's in the middle of in the shopping mall, so you can't really expand around it. But I mean, it was December 2019 when I last went to that cinema, the Odeon Trafford Centre, and I went to watch it in one of the normal screens, not the IMAX, because they have a few screens there. There's like about 3 or 4 screens where you have separate front and rear sections of seating, and I prefer to sit. I mean, today I was sat at the back of the IMAX room, but today I sat. When I go to one of those other screens, I prefer to sit at the back of the front section, because then the screen's right in your face, and all the chatty people go to the back, and it's great, and you get 2 hours or so to yourself, and it's great. But that time, December 2019, I went to see Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, which was a pretty poor do, quite frankly. All 3 of the films were pretty poor. It was just kind of cashing in on nostalgia. And I've been to the cinema since a few times. That the IMAX referred to, the Viewprint works. Went to see Tenet. I think that was August. It came out in August 2020. I went to see. I mean, Christopher Nolan wanted to be the saviour of cinema for the summer, and no one went to the cinema, unfortunately. It's a shame because it was a great film. And then but I saw it in about the first week of September 2020, and then a few weeks later I went to see The 800, which is a brilliant Chinese war film. And then more recently, I think in November last year, I think it was just early November, I went to see Dune Part 1, as it was called by the time I got to see it, because a few days after it had come out, it made enough money for them to realise that there was money in this, and they greenlit a sequel. So we are getting Part 2. But in the past 2 years, there's been a lot of streaming and not much else. And quite frankly, I don't think I've been up for an early morning cinema trip since I used to go almost weekly to the Manchester Showcase in the early 90s. They had a I'm not sure if it's still there, bowling alley, Bellevue Bowling, and used to go to the Bellevue Bowling and then to the cinema. Not at the same time, obviously you can't do 2 things at once, or even one after the other. You'd go out, for it was like a Sunday morning trip. But I mean, I enjoyed going. I went to the Manchester Showcase. I'd like to go on a Sunday morning because it's. I don't think I've been to the cinema really on a Sunday morning since back then. Sometimes I tend to go like the Sunday evening because it's again it's going to be quiet. I mean, Sunday morning is obviously quiet. Sunday evening, a lot of people are just thinking, well, they're going to get ready for work the next day, so it's quiet to go then. Maybe in the IMAX it's a bit busier, but you go for a sort of regular screen on a Sunday evening and it's pretty quiet. So it's just a nice, easy way to end the weekend. But I mean, Sunday morning in general is largely just wasted time, and I still got back in time to make a nice Sunday lunch. Just exactly the same time. So I've just I've won today. I feel like I've won. I've not had I've not sat here just drinking tea and then just trying to find something to watch to pass a few hours, because there's never very much on TV on a Sunday morning. And you got a million and one things you can watch on various streaming services and so on, but Sunday morning you're just not really feeling like being too adventurous with your viewing. But as long as there's something worth watching on at the cinema, I think I might do it again soon. So with the Windy Pops, I mean, in fact, quite frankly, it's good to get out of the house altogether. I do try and get a walk outside almost every day, if only to get some fresh air, but I mean, that's what it's like when you're working from home, but even that in itself as a concept can get a bit odd sometimes. As for the film, it passes a couple of hours reasonably. Moonfall I went to see. The second hour is better than the first. I won't give any spoilers, but all I'll say is just don't expect any of it to make any real sense. It's from Roland Emmerich, director, who made Independence Day, 2012, and similar disaster movies. And it's got Kelly Hu. She's in not a massive role in it. In fact, gone on the Internet Movie Database, someone's forgotten to put her in the cast list. She's certainly in the cast list on in the cinema. I think someone just forgot to add her to the bloody film. Someone's added. I looked and saw that someone's added a stunt double for Kelly Hu, but not Kelly Hu herself, which is rather an omission. Anyways, so let's get on to the Amico. So I was kind of inspired to make this video when I saw Leo DS's video, where I mean, in one screen he shows all 26 games that they're about to talk about. He's made a list. He's gone through. Whether he's gone through any of the rest of the video, I don't know. I just happened to find. I saw it was part of their live stream, and I went and had a look to see roughly whereabouts it was. At least they put, even though they're not put timestamps in in the description. At least we've got some sort of indication on screen anyway. So this is about sort of 10 minutes to go through. Yeah, they're all so excited. Let's have a look.
Anybody else want to add to the topic before we move on? Because we've got some. I've got actually some exclusive news that nobody's heard before. So
let's move on to this exclusive.
Let's hear that.
News.
Yeah.
Right, so
bring it.
Exclusive. I'm going to be announcing the finished games. The games that are finished. Also exclusive. There's been a lot of talk as far as the obviously when the system launches, we're going to get the 6-pack-ins. Obviously, everybody knows that. But the big controversial topic was, are we going to get games that we have physical editions for? I did confirm with Tommy and other people in the company that yes, when the system launches, your physical edition games will be available. So you will have those at bare minimum. We're going to have all
lots of pieces of cardboard. I mean, I just how has RetroBro become Intellivision's official new spokesman? I'm sorry, I forget whose video it was who said this, but I know it's been talked about that Tommy needs Intellivision need a decent PR person, because Tommy Tallarico and himself, he just makes a complete hash of things, just and just says all kinds of things, and it all ends up being a complete load of old fanny. And how does it come to be? I mean, I've watched this segment already, but how does it come to be that instead of paying somebody out of whatever funds you got left, because you don't have much left in the kitty, and they're about to apparently go on a third round of funding. I'd love to see how that turns out. Certainly have a look at that when that goes live. It's not been announced as of yet, but it's sort of expected. It's coming up. But why instead of paying someone to do your PR and put out news announcements, why instead do you trust an individual on YouTube to give out the information as if it's official information? Where do we have the confirmation from RetroBro, or from Intellivision, that RetroBro is an official source, or that he's giving an official source? He could be talking out of his hat. Okay, he hasn't got a hat on, but you know what I mean. He just could be talking out of his backside, and we don't know. Do we have to just assume that everything he says is gospel? That's what I'm going to have to presume for this video, anyway. But anyway, let's see what he has to say.
All 8 games plus the 6. So what is that? 13 games.
14.
Yeah. Worst
14.
case scenario, 8
Oh yeah.
be available.
Great maths. Here we go.
So you will have those at bare minimum. We're going to have all 8 games plus the 6. So what is that? 13 games.
14.
Yeah. 8 plus 6 is 13.
Yeah. Worst
14.
case scenario, we get 14 games. But I am going to list the finished games. The finished games are not all going to be at launch, actually, because obviously they want to hold some games back. They don't want to spill them all up front. But these are.
And they've got to try and sort of tweak them a bit more, and tweak them a bit more, and tweak them a bit more. And if they are finished games, why haven't we seen any more deep dives about them? Then again, see how the other deep dives turned out. Good lord.
The finished games so far. Is Cat Fighter finished? Chuck can answer that one for you.
That's also here with the date. Get back with me next week.
Meow. Meow.
Yeah, he said something I've skipped over before about claiming to have the date for the release of the Amico. Hilarious.
So everyone's complaining. Where's the games? What games are finished? What games are finished? All right, games we have finished. Obviously, Shark is finished. I think we've kind of known that one for a while, right?
Is it finished? Is it really finished? I mean, you could probably knock it out in an afternoon if you're a programmer, but so you could do that with an awful lot of them, and they haven't bothered to do those either.
Right, Shark. We've been playing that one forever. Astro Smash, obviously.
Right.
Well, it's the same thing across 10 levels, and they've shown all 10 levels on the deep dive. So you've seen it. There's nothing else to it.
Finished by this point.
Yeah.
Everybody
if that's
here.
Not finished, if that's not finished, I'm rioting.
Yeah.
If all the packing games are not finished, then that's just problematic. I'm going to assume all the packing games are finished.
Well, look at Cornhole, how they had to redesign that. Well, it seemed to be, well, it wasn't ready because the motion controls don't work. But then they decided they were going back to square one with the whole thing. Who's to say they won't do it again?
Yeah, I'd hope when you're going into manufacturing that you'd have those.
The next finished game is Missile Command. That one's finished.
Well, we've seen that. That's a bloody mess.
Armor Battle is finished.
So it's called Armored Battle. I think the original Intellivision game was called Armor Battle. Oh God! On that deep dive that was uploaded multiple times, it was Tank Battle. It was Battle Tanks. Then it became Tank Battle. Then they had to do it again because they had a load of stolen artwork. And on that one, they just had to blur out the even in the final video, there was still stolen artwork in there, but they had to blur it out for just a bloody video. But it's all placeholder graphics. Stolen artwork, placeholder graphics. You know, what's that song? You say potato, I say potato. Stolen artwork, placeholder graphics. What a load of bullshit.
Notice he said Armor Battle.
I know, and that,
no World of Tanks.
No.
That was the
Tanks.
text from Tommy. So I asked Tommy. I said, Tommy, what games are finished? What games can I tell everyone which ones are finished? I have to know. You have to give this to me, and I'm going to drive to California and put you in a headlock until you tell me. So no, he is more than willing to. And a lot of these are, I believe, most of these are on their FAQ, but there haven't been confirmed that they are done yet, which is what I'm doing now. Dyna Blaster. That one's done.
Yes.
So
have we seen Dyna Blaster? Is that the one that's supposed to be like what's it called? The oh God, Super Bomberman. Same thing as that. I think that's the one. I can't think whether, unless we've seen like a brief clip of it. I don't know if we have seen a brief clip of it. It's been so bloody long ago. I've forgotten anyway. Because I think when I put my original pre-order in, it was January 2020, something like that. And then obviously it was around August or so last year when I cancelled the pre-order because the bloody thing was cancelled, delayed for the third time. But yeah, I think that's the Super Bomberman. Someone let me know in the comments if that's not correct.
That's good to hear. And I'm hoping that by being done, they did fix the 4-player.
Yep, it's done.
Good.
It's done. I talked to Tommy a couple weeks ago because Tommy is leading a lot of the creative efforts and everything and making sure.
Creative efforts? He's leading a lot of the distraction, that's for sure.
Bugs are out of games, and when I talked to him weeks ago, I remember they were saying they were doing final bug testing on that game, and that one's done now. Pool is done, so that's another one.
It's one of my favorites. That's one of my
I have not played Pool yet.
Yeah, we saw Pool on. There's a clip on one of DJC's videos, and it just looked like something that anything. If you've ever played Pool on a cheap game on a PC, where it's just a top-down view of a pool table, or even on a mobile phone these days, it's that. That's what it is, but put on a big TV screen. That's all it is. I mean, well, all these games are mobile phone things put on a big TV screen, but that's all it was. Nothing to write home about whatsoever.
I'm angry at Chuck that he got to play it.
Yeah.
And DJC's loving it. Oh, it's really good. It's really good. No, it's just like this. So say any old shitty mobile phone game of pool you've ever played, it's that. How can you be excited for that? Shame on you.
This one I kind of figured was going to be done because it felt done when we played it in Crayola, which is Finnegan Fox. That one's done.
Oh yeah, Finnegan Fox. The one just... I think I've linked it before. Linked it before. Tommy Amico's Finnegan Fucked. That's a brilliant song. I've played that a good few times. Just because you can't. There's a line about the fact you can't in the song that you can't double jump, which is true. And yeah, it's brilliant. Just go and watch. If I've not linked it, I'll link it again. Finnegan Fucked. It's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Again, that's another one of those. That's one of their physical edition games.
Yeah,
so
that's a physical. Yeah, that's a physical.
I
game.
would hope that would be done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Evil Knievel's done. I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
This is.
But it was just bloody awful, and it was so bad. Even maybe it was the controls, but either way, it was so bad that even the staff playing it in the office couldn't work out how to play it.
This is one I'm actually happy to hear is done. Space Strikers, because Space Strikers was one I was kind of on the fence about, and then when I played it, I'm like, oh, I have to get this game.
I've seen the clip of that game a few times, and it's the one where you got sort of, I suppose it's supposed to be like a sort of football pitch or something, and all you've got is like you got 4 things on screen, and so 4 players, so to speak, and it's like they're just sort of swirling around the screen, just going all over the place. It looks more like a game demo, or a demo anyway, just a demo of something, rather than an actual game. It's the kind of thing you get bored with after about 2 minutes, if that. It's just a nonsense. Utter rubbish.
Like this is going to be one game I have to get.
Oh
Why?
yeah, I was completely underwhelmed with that one when I saw the first trailer on it, but after I played it, I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it would be like a quick one for me to buy, unless I had other people to play with. I feel like that one's going to be more fun with other people around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a party game.
That's definitely a party game. But I feel like my kids can play that.
But it's not got AI built in, so you can play with the AI. God.
You know what I mean? Like
well, it's just me and my wife here, so
Yeah.
I don't really see that one getting a ton of playtime between the two of us, to be honest. If we had friends over, yeah, probably, but that would be about the only time.
The next one, which was pretty obvious, I think this one everyone has been done for a while, is Rigid Force Redux is done.
Have we even seen that one? I don't know. I could go and look these up, but quite frankly, unless they come to mind while I'm watching this, I'm not going to make any special effort. I don't think we've seen. Was that the one? I think. Am I thinking about the right one? One we have to defuse a bomb, or is that something entirely different? Or is the one where you have to defuse a bomb got bomb in the title? It probably has, and I'm probably thinking about something completely different. But I don't think I've seen an awful lot of the game footage that they're talking about. The game they're talking about, anyway.
That game looks sweet. Yeah.
I'm gonna skip over this last one, or this one that I was gonna say next, and I'm gonna let everybody guess, because when I heard this one was done, I was like, oh hell yeah, I'll let the chat guess, but I'll go to the next one. I'll skip over that one. Farkle is done.
Farkle, what the hell is Farkle? That's the dice game, isn't it? In the UK, apparently, it must be a big thing in America, Farkle, but Windy Pops. I've never even heard of it in the UK until it came up on an Intellivision video. Never heard of it before. But if you got a dice game, surely just. I mean, I know Nintendo Switch has that 51 games in one package thing, which is the kind of games that Intellivision are dumbing down and selling for $10 a pop, on their games. Whereas I think the Nintendo thing's about sort of £34 for the whole collection, so less than £1 a game. And these people are just getting excited for just basic games that they're having to pay 10 times as much for. It's madness.
I'm not a big Farkle guy. Emoji Charades is done. I didn't really play.
Again, charades. Charades is something. I mean, I don't know what the emoji. Probably seen a video of this, I imagine. And it's just fallen into the back of my mind somewhere. But charades is something that you might play at a party in the 80s when Give Us a Clue was big on TV with Lionel Blair and Michael Aspel doing that. I think he was the main host, and Lisa Goddard was all. So you had Lionel Blair and Lisa Goddard as the sort of hosts of each team, and they're all doing these. It was half an hour, 7 o'clock in the evening on ITV, half an hour of charades. Just that was the height of entertainment in the 80s. I think it ran from like sort of mid to late 70s up until sort of early 90s. Just have a quick look on IMDb and just see exactly what we got. Come on. 1979 is when it started, and it's classed as not having ended, even though I can see that the general series actually got as far as 1992, and they tried to bring it back again in 97. God, who was playing it in 1997? Because I think 1992 is sort of when it was cancelled. I guess they must have tried to bring it back, see if anyone cared. But there's probably a series 16 for 1997 listed on IMDb, but nothing, not even any names of any people on there that might have taken part in it. I doubt that even happened. Maybe it was planned and never happened. But then again, they've listed 31 episodes for 1997. I would have thought if you're going to try and bring something back as a tester, you do it maybe for 6 episodes or 3 or 4. You won't bring it back for 31. So that's very odd. But anyway, so charades. It was an 80s thing. No one cares about it now. Why do you need it with emojis?
Much of emoji charades in Pennsylvania. I was kind of
charades.
Like, it's a quick little fun party game. I wasn't really interested in it at the time. What is Blank Slate? I haven't heard of Blank Slate. Can someone tell me what Blank Slate is?
I've never played it.
Blank Slate is where they write all their lack of ideas down.
I thought that was one of the ones that I think was in the Gamescom trailer. We didn't get much on it.
That one's done.
Okay.
I haven't heard much of it.
Oh, cool.
So we've had nothing about it, but apparently it's done. Where's Intellivision? If this is news, Intellivision should be making a video telling us all this. They get loads of hits, loads of comments from the people they haven't banned from their YouTube channel, and then they could just make capital out of this. They can make a few quid, making a video in the sort of advert fee alone. Yeah, they don't do that. They just let RetroBro read the information out on a late night podcast that no one's listening to. Good God.
Yeah.
Care Bears is done, which I'm.
Care Bears! Oh, OEBP, he's going to be so excited. From that time he was going, Care Bears. Who gives a fuck about Care Bears?
Excited about.
That's sweet. I am. Hey, I am. I can admit it. It's okay. It's okay. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool.
There's 3 Sesame Street games that are done.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, let's just get that in full.
There's 3 Sesame Street games that are done.
Yes.
I don't think he's got something else to say, but Sesame Street games. I mean, whenever those have come out, I saw. Which one was it? Aqualung Game Reviews. He reviews a lot of Atari 2600 games. Very funny channel. Go and have a look at that. There was one where it was just, I think it was Big Bird's Egg Hunt or Egg Challenge or something. Anyway, the idea was a load of eggs roll down and you just have to catch them at the bottom. I think there may have been a second screen to it, but the games are so poor in quality, but they were colourful at the time for what you could get, so it was good. So it was good to look at anyway. I never had it originally, but yeah, a bit of colourful. It was good in terms of kids would be interested in it. But then again, it was £30, and all those games were £30 at the time. And quite frankly, when a parent is going to be spending £30 on a game, they want something that's going to be fun for the whole family and entertaining, or well, at least fun for the main person who's going to use the console. For the kids, really. They're not going to get anything that's very educational or very basic. You know, they're going to put the money. They're going to spend the money wisely when it's £30. And we've not even seen any of these Sesame Street games, but I think there's one called like Basic Maths, and it just all sounds absolute junk. Why bother? Why bother?
There's 3 Sesame Street games that are done.
Yes, I mean that's cool, I guess.
Skiing is done.
Wow, 10 levels.
Yep.
Moon Patrol, obviously, Moon Patrol's a pack-in.
Yeah.
Well, Moon Patrol's not a pack-in because it's being sold separately. But Moon Patrol, it's done with the Star Fox Lilac system, whatever it is. You know, it's got the Star Fox text in there, but apparently the game's done. Okay.
Biplanes. Oh, I'm sorry. Moon Patrol's a physical.
Moon Patrol's physical.
Right.
Skiing is a pack-in.
Skiing is a pack-in. Biplanes, which is another physical.
Yep.
2 little planes flying about on the screen. Brilliant.
Pong is done.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Did you say Pong?
Yeah.
Pong.
Yeah, the music for that is actually really good.
Yeah.
It looks really fun.
So I'm not gonna. So I've was there a dive or anything on that?
No.
Wow, Pong. If you need a deep dive into Pong, you need help. It's the most basic video game ever created. A bat on each side, left and right, knocking a ball from one to the other, back and forth. If you think you need a deep dive on that, my God. When I was at a retro event a few years ago, I played Atari 2600 Pong, and it was a competition, and they sort of whittled it down. I don't know. I signed up for it. It didn't cost me anything to enter, but I signed up for it, and I actually got through to the final. So in each sort of round, however, I can't remember how many lives we had, but whoever sort of won at the end of it all got through to the next round, and I got through to the final. And then I was up against a guy, and I thought, oh God, if I'm through to the final, I've actually got a chance of winning this. And then when it came to setting it off, they put it on small paddles and fast. So it was basically completely random as to whether or not you'd get the bloody knock the ball back, and whoever had to hit it first was usually on the losing wicket, and that was me, I think. So I lost, and the other guy won. I mean, not his fault, not my fault. It's just how it was. It was the fault of the people running the competition, I suppose. But I went and had a look afterwards to see what you could have won, and they had a load of sort of old retro consoles and things. And one of them, if I could have taken my pick to choose what was there, I would have gone for. They had a Nintendo 64. I never had one of those back in the day. They had a Nintendo 64 and a couple of games. I would have taken that and brought that home. I mean, to be quite frank, I probably would have played it a couple of times and then put it away again, and then just use emulation if I was that fussed about playing N64 games beyond that. So I could have taken it home, but I say maybe I wouldn't have got so much use out of it. So whatever the other guy picked, I can't remember. I did go and have a look and see when cause I was in the same room. There was a couple of rooms in there, you see. I was happened to be in the room where they're doing the collections at the end, and he picked out. I can't remember what he picked out now because it's quite a few years ago. But whatever he picked out, I hope it's something he got a lot of use out of. So, and if he got more use out of whatever he picked, then I would have got out at the N64 because I know it wasn't an N64 he got. Then if he got more use out of it overall, then kudos to him. That's fine.
For Pong, there was a PC demo that you could download.
Taking a breakout.
No,
You're
that's
thinking of
Breakout.
Is that Breakout?
Yeah.
that's
That's what I'm thinking.
Pong has had a few short clips here and there, but there's been no deep dive on that at all.
okay.
I feel like
How
I've
much
seen
can
it
you do with
somewhere.
Pong? You know,
Exactly. How much can you do a deep dive on Pong?
That's going to be the question.
yeah,
Is,
it'll be.
look what they did.
Tommy,
Look what they did with. But look what they
Tommy,
did
give
with
us a deep
Breakout.
dive. Yeah. By
I'll
the
do
way,
a 20-minute video on the
by
small
the
clip they
way,
gave us.
speaking of done and speaking of Breakout's done.
Good.
Good.
So why haven't we seen any of it then?
That's on my
Is
list.
that going to be available launch day, or is that going to be held back a little bit?
So I don't know a lot of these. He didn't say which ones will be held back and which ones will be available launch day. Right now, we do know we're going to get the pack-ins and we're going to get the physicals day one at launch.
Yeah.
A lot of these other ones, if I were in television, and this is even as a fan, as I would like for them to hold them back, because if I'm getting a console with 14 games, like I'm okay with that. Drip me some games, a game a month, 2 games a month. I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? It gives me kind of something to look forward to.
I don't know. Breakout's kind of been one of my most anticipated since I played it.
Breakout.
Yeah,
So I just want it.
Right.
Patrick Smith says they showed a ton of Pong clips. I'll have to go back and look. I haven't
Yeah, I could have.
yeah,
I've seen it somewhere. Yeah.
It's been in some
Have they? I can't remember getting any.
of like if you look at their trailer demos where they were just showing a bunch of the games that are coming out.
Right.
Like that 15-minute video. It's shown in there a couple times, and I think they've shown it in 1 or 2 other videos outside of that. It's not been for very long,
Pong
but they have
RPG.
shown some of the gameplay.
Wow, Pong gameplay. That's what it's come to in 2022. That's what people of a certain age are waiting for. Good God.
Hey, listen! If Nintendo can make a pinball RPG, I'm sure Intellivision can do a Pong RPG.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Rab was. That's what I was thinking. Rab said Pong was the short clip at Gamescom and the 1010 special event footage.
I'll have to go back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I knew it was that first like quick clip thing that they did, like God, 3 years ago almost now at this point.
Yeah.
Had it in there.
So this one, there was a lot of controversy. You guys remember around this one for a while with them changing controls. Yep, cornhole's done. So they got everything. You know, I mean, they played it back in Boston back in November, so it's not a surprise to me.
God, who cares about cornhole? Who cares? Again, that's something. If you're that into it, you just play it in real life rather than trying to play it on a computer. And you can download a free version on your mobile phone anyway. And I imagine, I understand there's a Nintendo Switch one anyway as well. So why on earth would you bother spending $300 on the Amico to play a game you can play free on your phone already? And when I did play it, I played it sort of once and then I uninstalled it. Crap.
That's done. And that's is cornhole a pack-in?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It's one of the.
It's fun too. It's fun.
Here's one that a lot of people were looking forward to: Nitro Derby.
Yeah,
that one's done.
Yeah, Nitro Derby's done.
So just a top-down racing game, pointless. But it's kind of thing you get in early 1980s. Fine in the arcade. 40 years later, no.
Where's my deep dive on that? I've been asking for more information on that one like forever.
I don't want and go ahead because I have a question for you guys after this, and I definitely want Sinister's thought on this. But go ahead, finish the list, John.
Yep, I've got the last 2: Brain Duel, which is a physical, and then Spades, which obviously, but there's one left, and I'm
Spades. Is that just like a card game?
gonna let the chat guess. Which one didn't I mention that is done? And this was a surprise to me. I'll give you a clue. We played it in Pennsylvania. That was the first time everybody found out about this game. I don't even think anybody really knew about the game. And when we found out about it, we're like, oh, shit.
Can I get a whirl, or do we wait on chat?
It's got to be the chat first.
All
it's
right,
not
because I'm like 99% sure I know this one now.
It's not Toe Jam at all.
Jam. All right, sure. If you change one letter,
it's not Night Stalkers. It's not Sideswipers. Right. It's one I rave about all the time. I'm gonna give
it's
the
one
chat.
I've raved about constantly as well. So if it's the one I'm thinking of, I'm like
I'm trying to go through the list in my head of what we.
Oh, if you don't guess this one, Mike, I'm gonna hit you.
Well,
on the back of the head,
so
dude.
it's the other game we all played.
Nope, it's not Talkback Party. Yep, Panda Sub got it. Flying
There
Tiger.
you go.
Okay, Flying Tiger.
That's the one.
When do we get the next video from Panda Sub? It's been at least 3 years since the last one. When's he making another one?
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was thinking.
Done.
Yep.
Nice.
And Retro Rich came in as well with that.
I can't remember what Flying Tigers was like. So it's I don't know, planes. I'm sure it's kind of thing about 1,000,000 times already. It's just gone out my head for a while.
That one.
Cat
So.
Fighter.
Those are the
Big Block.
those are the currently finished games. So obviously, a lot of the other ones are still in that 95%. Back to the poll. If you guys haven't voted in the poll yet, agree or disagree, Amico Hype is more in 2022 than it was in 2021. Disagree is still leading 59% to 41% with 59 votes.
How is the hype for the Amico in 2022? Good God.
Mike, you had a question.
Exclusive stuff.
I do.
Yeah. Now we have exclusive games. You guys know.
Great news.
Yes, that is great news.
So I mean,
Flying
that
Tigers
should be
is a nice one.
I know. I was excited about that.
It's going to be a really good game.
Yes.
I don't know if that'll come out launch day. I suspect they're going to hold it back.
They're going to hold that one back.
I would if I were them.
Too. Yeah.
So, all right. So my question is, we ought to get into whether. I mean, I'm curious now too. So I'm curious now too about holding games back. But the question I actually had while we were going through this list was, do we at this point really need any more deep dives? So, again, I'm going to go back to what we need is the console to come out, right?
Do you want no information from Intellivision at all? You think that no news is good news and that they're making the console as we speak? They're not. They're not making anything.
And for us to play the games, I'm excited now to hear a couple of these games that we and it's good to know the 8 are done. That would be bad. But I mean, I could go the rest of the time if I know when it's coming out. I don't need any more deep dives. I think that I think it becomes empty hype after a while. Bring me the console.
So you don't want them to advertise their games? How bizarre!
What do you guys think?
I definitely want more deep dives. I want to see Finnegan Fox. I want to see Pool. I want the world to see Pool. That's a great one.
We want more deep dives because they make great videos. And SNEStastic gets about 3 videos out of each one.
Dino Blaster. I want to see the multiplayer on Dino Blaster. Moji Charades is one I think is so underrated. I did not want to like it. I didn't think it was going to be my thing. I was like, that's someone else's thing. Played it at Crayola, and it was like everybody gathered around that little TV just to play that emoji charades. That one is a sleeper, man. Talk about like
it's a sleeper hit. So you can't play charades with your hands. You've got to buy a $300 console to play on a screen. Good God.
Agree with that.
Yep.
Me and the level 857 guys in Dreadpool were all hanging around emoji charades for like an hour.
I played it as well, and I agree that one. And I think Bomb Squad's going to be another.
But the deep dives have shot already, then go dark until launch. Well, they've gone dark already. That's because there is no launch.
Real big one there.
Yeah,
100% on Bomb Squad.
And honestly, I'll be honest. I wouldn't mind seeing a couple more deep dives just to kind of like if they can do it while they're still working on getting the console out. If it's going to delay the console, then no.
But it's not going to delay anything. It takes them 20 minutes to make as long as they're not going to redo it. And then that's it. It's not an awful lot they've got to do. They managed to knock out at least 3 or 4 in a day last time.
Otherwise, it's good to have like a little bit of that hype as things start to come out. Once you start getting into the hands of people, even just the founders, I think you can mostly stop with the deep dives because I think the community is going to kind of take over and really start showcasing a lot of this stuff as it comes out and becomes available.
So you're just going to let the community do the work. Well, the Amico cults, you're all talking about the Amico now, and there's no hype for it whatsoever. Do you think that by releasing the console and then you all playing the console, that's going to make everyone want one? It's not.
I don't think they become quite as necessary at that point.
I think that's where we'll leave it. It's just everyone's very muted. No one really cares. Well, they all care, but apart from outside of these 5, which are the only people who are really listening to what's going on, no one really cares. No one. This is not going to be a massive success. I don't think it's coming out. If it ever did come out somehow, it's just going to sell to a handful of people, and then it's just going to fall by the wayside. But why bother putting something out when Tommy can just nip off in his Ferrari, claim bankruptcy, and then just run off into the sunset with everyone's cash? So if you've got a pre-order, cancel it. If you've got it, if you've got it money invested, if you can get it out, please do. Although we've got a 3rd round of funding coming up apparently. Good old Amico. Anyway, I'm off to. And I'll put up a review of Moonfall on the DVD Fever website soon, and think about Kelly Who some more. But in the meantime, please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, click on the bell for all the notifications, think some more about Kelly Who, and Q Genesis. Hang on.